Donald Glover, Rihanna, Guava Island.
A childish Gambino film. Gotta put that.
Guava.
Guava, yeah. Ambitious Ace. But yeah.
Dang Diddy.
Yes, it's a childish Gambino film. Don't forget that.
A childish Gambino film. So, Guava Island, man.
Were you expecting this?
No.
No.
I thought we were getting an album.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed though.
I'm not disappointed at all.
I mean, I just hope that like he kind of just releases all of the songs because I don't feel like he released the very last.
He didn't release Saturday. He performed Saturday. I remember on SNL. If I'm not for real, there was some SNL show last year where he performed Saturday. So I was like, yo, I know this song, and I was like, yeah, Saturday. As soon as he said Saturday, I was like, Saturday. Yeah.
It comes off as a offshoot episode of Atlanta, just not in Atlanta.
You know what's funny about that? The director was Hiro Murai.
I mean, he does all his music videos anyway. Yeah. So man, we start off with Denny.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Denny, man?
It might just me because I'm a Donald Glover fan, but I immediately liked his character. I don't know. It's just a certain charm that he brought his character with from the get go. Like, you know, from the first scene when he was just like, I forgot what he said to her.
He always plays it right when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
And then she said something, and he said, "That's what my girlfriend."
Yeah,
said.
and that just had me rolling. But I just like that. And then, but even from that, from the moment where he was running to his job or whatever like that, he was talking to everybody and everything like that. So I can see that he was a very well respected person and everything like that. And I just love when films do that. They get you associated with a character by really quickly by seeing how other people react to him. And I think that's a very smart and effective way to get you accustomed to a character in a new, setting.
Yeah, they did a really expedient job of getting you to like him and see that he was extremely liked. You got kids that tried to rob him. He even played along with the kids for a little bit.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that he was like a symbol of freedom throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the whole role they were trying to get.
Right.
And next, I guess we could talk about Rihanna, a.k.a. Kofi. At the beginning of the movie, she was being read a story about her mom.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about Rihanna's character?
I feel like, she served as, of course, the love interest and everything like that, but also as kind of like the moral balance for his character because, she kind of wanted him to say, what happened to you when he came out and everything like that, but she kind of knew what was going on. But even though she really didn't have a lot to do in the film, I feel like, it was still really strong for her by the end of the film because, what she did at the end and everything and how she was walking in all blue. I thought that was beautiful. And, even though she had a minor role, so to speak, I still think that she made an impact and she did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, Rihanna did what she does. I mean, she showed up. She looked good. She didn't have a lot of lines. Mm-hmm. It didn't come off as she had a lot of lines. Yeah. But her presence was felt just due to the fact that you can see how invested in Kofi that Denny was. Yeah. And that was very apparent. She didn't have to speak much because him showing off how much she loved her just for singing and dancing and stuff made you, feel some type of way. I did feel like the whole baby thing seemed kind of weird until you get to the very end. Yeah. But it just seemed like it was almost like, why did they do that? We
thought she was going to want to leave because, when they were telling the story that she wanted to leave and everything, it was like, oh, man, she's about to tell him he's about to leave. She's about to leave the island. But, yeah, so the baby thing kind of threw us off, too. But, like I said, it made sense by the end.
Yeah, we also had Letitia Wright in here. I mean, she didn't have a huge role, but she was here. Got to respect, Shuri.
Yeah. Kind of forever.
You know what I'm saying? So we just got to throw that in there. Yeah. How did you feel about her?
I thought, her presence was known. It was cool to see her being like, the friend to Kofi's character and everything like that. And it was cool.
Yeah, she her role was kind of like just Kofi's friend, it seemed. She just had the energy. It was cool to see her, get everybody involved and get everybody to dance. Yeah. And she was cool. Yeah. I don't really feel like we need to really talk about many of the other characters because, I mean, we could talk about Red Cargo. We're going to end up talking about him anyway. Yeah. But as far as the movie goes, like, as we said, it seemed like Donald Glover was like this whole idea of freedom and happiness.
Yeah.
And like, it just seems like the whole idea of this movie is for him to get everybody to take Sunday off just so they can enjoy life. Because he even said a line like, we live in paradise and nobody has a chance to recognize it because everybody's too busy working.
Yep.
And then when he said that, I was just like, mic drop.
I mean, this movie had a lot of lines and moments that were mic drop worthy. Like, it's just like, man, just to how even he did the reprise of This Is America. Like, just the whole way he did, he was just like, this is America. What do you mean you got to go there for? And like, just the whole way that the scene developed and everything like that, it just had a lot of just a lot of small instances that made you really think about things, you know. I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, I really like the whole This Is America scene just because he kind of just sung the beginning part.
Yeah.
And then one of the workers started the machine.
Yeah.
And it sounded just like the distorted bass on the song This Is America. And then he kind of just started going in. And
I thought that was dope because it kind of felt like not a remix, but just like another version of the song. And it fit the tone of the movie very well. Because like, even when the movie started, I was just like, why is this movie in like a 4.3 aspect ratio? What the hell? Am I on the wrong video?
Yeah,
but
that's another thing we got to talk about, man, the way they decided to shoot it. So they shot it in 4.3. I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it on our TV. The edges were beveled.
Rounded.
Yeah, all the edges were rounded around the film.
Yep.
And they even used like an old school. I don't know if it's actual real tape that they recorded on to get that effect or if they just used an effect because I know you can just easily get an effect.
Right.
But I just know that it looked really good. The HDR was on my TV. I was like, yo, this joint is, especially that beginning story. I was like, yo, this is super colorful.
That's what's up.
So
yeah.
It the way, the style that this thing was shot, because I know it says Stephen Glover, his brother,
oh, okay, that's what's
had
up.
a lot to do with that aspect of it.
Okay.
So that was really dope.
I really think that made the film stand out in its own way because at first I was just like kind of annoyed. I was like, what's about to go on here? But the more the movie played out, I was just like, no, this fits the style of the movie. It makes it unique in its own way. And then, you know, going back to how the musical cues enacted, I just like how it kind of used minimalistic music, but it still felt like the full package. And I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, throughout the movie, we get music as well. We get like a lot of, I guess, tribal drums or drums native to the land, or I don't know if they're really native to Cuba, but for fantasy's sake, let's say they're native to Guava
Island.
And it was really dope. You know what I'm saying? When he actually did Summer Magic and Summertime, when he was kind of singing and dancing.
That was fire.
Like he was killing me with the faces. I'm
bro,
like,
but his facial emotions, I like how when
we need emojis of those faces.
We do. I like how when she was walking away and the music stopped
and
he just walked up like that. Like that was just so dope. Like he did the perfect.
All he needed to do is
So yeah, like it was the perfect. Like you said, we need emoji pack of all his emotions.
Absolutely. So, he was singing a song about Red Cargo on the radio.
Yeah.
Red Cargo apparently is like
I've heard that on the radio.
Really?
And I was tripping when I heard it because I'm like, I know this. Why do I know this? And I'm like, bro, they've been playing this on the radio.
That's
this
crazy.
This whole advertisement, this whole rollout that Donald Glover has done for this film is incredible. Because like I was picking back on earlier, like when you realize that This Is America, Summertime Magic, and Feels Like Summer was really all a rollout for this film. And it's just crazy. And then I heard the commercial on the radio. I'm like, what is this? Because I knew it was his voice, but I didn't know what it was for. Now that I've seen the movie, I know what it's for. So I think that's really, really dope advertisement. I don't know why, but it's just really dope.
Yeah. Well, I know Red Cargo. To me, it just seemed like Red Cargo symbolized oppression.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can... I was going to say... No, I'm not going to say that. But it definitely symbolized, like, oppression and damn near, like, keeping people's minds captive.
Yeah,
and it was obvious that blue was a good thing because we saw that when we saw the birds earlier in the show. Like, because the whole story was about the birds.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was interesting, the way they used the colors.
Yeah.
And we saw white when he was dressed in white when he died. So, in essence, you can argue that This Is America. I wanted to just enjoy the movie and not get too deep, but I felt like those things were kind of cool to pay attention to.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of hidden, meanings if you wanted to go that deep, but it didn't get so deep that it took you away from the narrative of the movie. So I respected that.
Yeah. So we finally get to the idea of the movie is just I'm trying to throw this festival for everybody, for them to force everybody to take a day off. He gets paid early in the movie to not do it, but some kids influence him to kind of want to go through it and do it. Did you notice that his Hawaiian shirt was blue too when he was performing?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was. That's
Do you
dope.
notice that the kid is the same kid who sung on the album, the one in the church?
That song on which album?
"Awaken My Love." The song.
Really?
He's gonna be playing Simba.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
That's him. That was him, and I believe that's the one that's playing Young Nala. I'm not sure, but I just kind of guessed that. I'm not sure, but it might be.
So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But he did the show, and then I thought it was a really dope moment when Kofi calls his name, and then everything goes silent.
Yeah.
And then he just eyes the person that's shooting at him.
Yeah.
That's about to shoot him.
That was pretty, man, I was just like, that, just that effect of everything stopped. And then bam. It was just crazy.
Yeah. So basically he's running to hide. He ends up seeing one of the birds, and he just trips out, seeing the bird, damn, these are supposed to be gone.
Yeah.
And he gets shot. And then basically Red Cargo shows up to work. He's super happy.
Yeah.
Shows up to work, and nobody's there. Everybody took the day off.
Took the day off anyway. And that was the real emotional impact right there. It's
and Rihanna looked almost like a bird when you saw her.
And just the fact that you did everything to take the idea of freedom and happiness from these people, that you taking his life still gave them the freedom and happiness. Because I just love the fact that they celebrated his life,
and they didn't even pay him no attention when he came.
Exactly, they walked right past him, and I thought that was really moving, man. And just for this movie to get you to care about a character in under 55 minutes that much, I thought that was a true achievement.
Yeah, it was definitely, as far as how I felt about the show, my final thoughts of it, it was a very enjoyable 55 minutes. Yeah. Really fun. Childish Gambino just does a really good job with Denny as a lovable character. Yeah. And they used the music in this joint masterfully. It was great ideas on how they used the music. Yeah,
man. This was just a great story. I feel like anybody can enjoy this just because of not only just the music. Like myself, I loved it because of the music. I love how he integrated that, but just the subtle shots and the color tones that he used and everything like that in the movie. There's a lot of stuff you can look at this aesthetically and just wow, this is pleasing to watch. And he just did such a great job with the character, and just pulling a lot off in 55 minutes. It's just really great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of us agree. I think everybody should go check this out if y'all get Amazon Prime.
Shoot, I want a hard copy. Shoot, release this and I'll buy it.
This is really dope. Childish Gambino did his thing. Rihanna did her thing. Yeah. Looking forward to albums from both of them. If we get one this year, that would be pretty dope. Yeah. I think everybody should check this out.
Yeah, most definitely check it out.
All right, y'all. Let us know if y'all saw the movie, or if you plan on watching it. Let us know down in the comments if y'all got any questions about the movie. Let us know. We should have put at the beginning that this is spoiler.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
but let us know what you thought about the movie. Let us know what you thought about everybody's portrayals and everything like that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.